The Commission for Independent Education has changed the way schools will participate remotely in meetings. Moving forward, CIE will be using Zoom Webinar, and there are a few differences to be aware of. The first process to be aware of is registration. When you click on the invitation link on CIE's home page, you will be taken to a registration page. This page has 5 questions that must be filled in: first name, last name, email, confirmation of your email, and organization name. After you register, you will receive an email that includes the Zoom link to access the webinar. Please do not share this link, as it will only work with one device per registrant. If you have multiple people calling in, they should all register individually. On the day of the meeting, we advise you to have only one device in the room. Multiple devices in the same room can lead to audio problems that make it difficult for the commissioners to hear you and for you to hear them. If you have multiple people from your team on the call, they should all be in separate locations. When the meeting starts, all of the schools will be listed as attendees. Attendees cannot display their video camera and cannot turn on their microphone unless asked to do so by a moderator. But attendees can ask questions using the Q&A feature. Please note, questions are displayed publicly, so do not put any sensitive or private information in the Q&A. During the meeting, when your school is recognized, you will need to raise your digital hand, which will help moderators find you in the list of attendees logged into the meeting. When this happens, you will be asked to unmute your microphone. Once you unmute yourself, you will be able to speak. If you call in using a phone instead of a computer, you can raise your digital hand by pressing *9 and unmute yourself by pressing *6. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at the next meeting. The Commission for Independent Education has changed the way schools will participate remotely in meetings. Moving forward, CIE will be using Zoom Webinar, and there are a few differences to be aware of. The first process to be aware of is registration. When you click on the invitation link on CIE's home page, you will be taken to a registration page. This page has 5 questions that must be filled in: first name, last name, email, confirmation of your email, and organization name. After you register, you will receive an email that includes the Zoom link to access the webinar. Please do not share this link, as it will only work with one device per registrant. If you have multiple people calling in, they should all register individually. On the day of the meeting, we advise you to have only one device in the room. Multiple devices in the same room can lead to audio problems that make it difficult for the commissioners to hear you and for you to hear them. If you have multiple people from your team on the call, they should all be in separate locations. When the meeting starts, all of the schools will be listed as attendees. Attendees cannot display their video camera and cannot turn on their microphone unless asked to do so by a moderator. But attendees can ask questions using the Q&A feature. Please note, questions are displayed publicly, so do not put any sensitive or private information in the Q&A. During the meeting, when your school is recognized, you will need to raise your digital hand, which will help moderators find you in the list of attendees logged into the meeting. When this happens, you will be asked to unmute your microphone. Once you unmute yourself, you will be able to speak. If you call in using a phone instead of a computer, you can raise your digital hand by pressing *9 and unmute yourself by pressing *6. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at the next meeting. The Commission for Independent Education has changed the way schools will participate remotely in meetings. Moving forward, CIE will be using Zoom Webinar, and there are a few differences to be aware of. The first process to be aware of is registration. When you click on the invitation link on CIE's homepage, you will be taken to a registration page. This page has 5 questions that must be filled in: first name, last name, email, confirmation of your email, and organization name. After you register, you will receive an email that includes the Zoom link to access the webinar. Please do not share this link, as it will only work with one device per registrant. If you have multiple people calling in, they should all register individually. On the day of the meeting, we advise you to have only one device in the room. Multiple devices in the same room can lead to audio problems that make it difficult for the commissioners to hear you and for you to hear them. If you have multiple people from your team on the call, they should all be in separate locations. When the meeting starts, all of the schools will be listed as attendees. Attendees cannot display their video camera and cannot turn on their microphone unless asked to do so by a moderator. But attendees can ask questions using the Q&A feature. Please note, questions are displayed publicly, so do not put any sensitive or private information in the Q&A. During the meeting, when your school is recognized, you will need to raise your digital hand, which will help moderators find you in the list of attendees logged into the meeting. When this happens, you will be asked to unmute your microphone. Once you unmute yourself, you will be able to speak. If you call in using a phone instead of a computer, you can raise your digital hand by pressing *9 and unmute yourself by pressing *6. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at the next meeting.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Commission for Independent Education. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order and turn it over to our Vice Chair, Troy Stefano.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is the Commission for Independent Education, and I am Troy Stefano, Vice Chair. Today is July 30th, 2025. Ms. Hood, could we have a roll call, please?
Stefano.
Present.
Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Marty. Commissioner Caballero.
Present.
Commissioner Batista.
Present.
Commissioner Litvack.
Present.
Briefly, just want to say it's great for you to be here. We have a new commissioner with us, so thank you so much for your presence and willingness to serve.
Thank you.
So it's now time for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome to all of our viewers. This meeting has 2 viewing options, and I believe in the intro recording, it went through most of this, but you can navigate to the Commission's agenda information webpage and click on the webcast link available for today or tomorrow. Today's agenda addresses degree granting institutions. These links will direct you to a live video feed of the meeting that will be used for viewing purposes only. This option does not allow anyone to communicate with the Commission staff. Please use option 2 if you will need to communicate with the Commission during today's meeting, including institutions on the agenda. If you navigate to the webcast link referenced a moment ago and locate the Zoom webinar registration link under the video link, there's a separate registration link for each day. You must register separately for each day. This link will send a confirmation email that contains additional instruction on how to proceed with viewing the meeting. And I believe that there were further instructions available online, and there were some in the recording that was offered just a few minutes ago. Due to today's meeting's virtual format, we will forego the introduction of visitors. We ask that any individual speaking with the commission on behalf of an institution to please state your full name, relation with the school, and then proceed. And let us know if there's anyone else on the call from your institution when you introduce yourself. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes. We're on agenda item number 4. We'll consider minutes from the meetings held May 29th and 30th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
First and seconded. We have a motion and second to approve the minutes as drafted. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion to approve March minutes is adopted. Thank you. Director Hurst, will you please provide the Executive Director's report?
Yes, good morning, everyone. So we will start with our student protection fee balance. The balance is currently $4,318,909.29, and there were 3 citations issued. So as Dr. Stefano mentioned earlier, we do have a new commissioner on the line. So just to give a little bit of background information, I would like to make a little statement. Due to a recent statutory change that made Herzing University exempt from CIE's jurisdiction, Commissioner Jeff Cross became ineligible to serve as a commissioner representing a licensed university and has tendered his resignation to the governor. I want to publicly thank Commissioner Cross for his service as a commissioner and the tireless effort he invested during his tenure. His dedication, insight, and unwavering commitment has been instrumental in advancing the mission of the commission. We are grateful for the leadership and wisdom he brought to the table, always advocating for the highest standards in the public good. Commissioner Cross leaves behind a legacy of integrity and collaboration that will continue to inspire us. On behalf of the entire commission, we wish him the very best in all his future endeavors. So effective July 22nd, 2025, Governor DeSantis appointed Stephen Litvak, who is the commissioner that you see on screen with us today. Commissioner Stephen Litvak is the president, chief legal counsel, and a member of the board of trustees for Jersey College and a chancellor of Sable College. Active in his community, he is the vice president of the North Shore Police Athletic League and is a member of the Council on Occupational Educational Appeal panel. Mr. Litvak earned his bachelor's degree in economics from the University of Pennsylvania and his Juris Doctorate from Harvard University. So we are thrilled to have you with us today. We're thrilled to have you join our commission, and we look forward to all the many meetings that you will get to be a part of. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And that concludes my report.
Great, thank you. Next on the agenda, would you please provide our legal counsel report?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vice Chair Stefano. I've got just updates on 3 institutions that I think will be of interest to you commissioners. The first update and sort of a sneak preview for tomorrow morning regards Onyx Nail Academy of Jacksonville. You commissioners will recall that on November 22nd of last year, the commission voted to issue a notice of intent to deny Onyx's first annual license application, citing 13 deficiencies therein. The notice was issued on December 19th. The institution timely filed a petition for formal administrative review on January 8th, which petition was amended on January 18th. And on February 3rd, the matter was forwarded to the Florida Division of Administrative Hearings. A formal hearing occurred on April 11th of this year before Administrative Law Judge Gary Early in Jacksonville. Ms. Raquel Hughes, the institution's owner, represented Onyx while I prosecuted on behalf of the commission's executive director. After reviewing Onyx's proposed exhibits a week prior, the executive director and I found 10 deficiencies resolved, which left 3. I argued for denial based on those 3 remaining issues. On May 30th of this year, Judge Early recommended denying the application. and a proposed final order adopting this recommendation will be considered on day 2 of this meeting. My second update concerns Blue Soleil Nursing Assistant Training School of Lauderhill. On February 11th of this year, the Commission issued a final order denying Blue Soleil's first annual license application and mandating an orderly closure. On March 13th, the institution appealed the Commission's final order to the Florida First District Court of Appeal. Having failed to secure a stay of the Commission's final order, Blue Soleil dismissed its appeal on June 6th and is now proceeding with an orderly closure. And my final update concerns the Trinity School of Nursing of Plantation. On May 30th, that is to say on day 2 of our previous meeting, the Commission, following an informal hearing, conditionally approved the Trinity School of Nursing's annual licensure application contingent on payment of $20,000 in fines and fees by June 13th. Despite your executive director granting a 1-week extension, the institution failed to comply. Accordingly, a final order denying the application and mandating the closure of the institution was issued on June 25th, and the appeal deadline has passed without an appeal being filed. And if you don't have any additional questions, that concludes my report.
Great, thank you. Appreciate it. And thank you for your diligence on all these matters and representing the CIE.
Thank you.
So next on the agenda, we have institutions ordered to appear back before the Commission. We have 2 institutions on this section. We'll take them individually. First on the agenda is Orlando Medical Institute, number 3264. If there's anyone here from that institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, and introduce yourself. And make sure you state your name, role, and if anyone else from that institution is on the call.
There is no one on the line.
Okay. Commissioners, is there any discussion?
None.
Okay, so to have a motion to, well, is there any public comment? All right, hearing none. Can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
So moved.
First and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Next on the agenda is Taylor College, number 2515. If anyone is here from the institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and if there's anyone else on the call.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jeff Georgeson, Campus President at Taylor College.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is Bob Harris, Legal Counsel for Taylor College. Good morning.
Morning.
Good. My name is Tara Graham, and I'm the Director of Education for Taylor College.
Great. Is that everyone that's here?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Fantastic. Commissioners, is there any discussion?
None.
Are there any comments that the institution would like to make?
Ultimately, we've really, the reason why we're in front of you today is our pass rates for the NCLEX, and we've really had a good year this year. A lot of hard work done by the nursing team, and really good results. We're over 95% for the year so far, and appreciate the time and everything that we've had the opportunity to improve that program because the things have really worked and have pushed that program in the right direction.
I could see here the improvement. Just want to congratulate you. I mean, that's a great direction, and it's something definitely to be proud of.
Thank you. Yeah.
If there's no further discussion, is there any public comment? All right, hearing none, can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
Motion.
Second.
First and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Thank you for the good work, and we look forward to seeing it continue.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, Evie. Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Yeah. Next, we're on Section B, application for provisional license. We have 7 in this section. They'll be taken individually. We'll start with Dionisio Romero University, number 13392. Is anyone here from that institution? Please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
Good morning. My name is Desert Sosas. I'm here with Liner Consulting.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Luciano Velasco, CEO of Dionisio Romero University.
Good morning. This is Linda Tosas with Liner Consulting.
Thank you for being here. Commissioners, any questions or I'll start. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about your institution and your value proposition. What distinguishes you as an institution? What do you see as your main value proposition for students?
Of course, thank you for the question. Our mission is to educate and inspire the next generation of business leaders, empowering them to drive innovation, growth, and positive impact in a rapidly changing world through distance education. Our rationale behind this mission is the central focus will be the relationship between academic learning and real practical skills and strategies. Our programs are designed to respond to the needs of today's world with the flexibility to adjust to these needs as they continue to evolve.
Yeah. I see here that your programs are online, synchronous, asynchronous, but you also selected hybrid. Could you talk to me a bit about how you're managing the in-person versus online elements of your program?
Yes, we have a really robust LMS that is modeled, that it's 100% personalized for our school, and also a campus, a 3,000 square foot campus, where we will offer 3 kinds of programs: online, hybrid, and 100% local.
Okay. And then the online ones, are those synchronous or asynchronous?
Both.
Both. Okay. So they combine elements of both. All right. Well, you certainly touched on degree programs that are hot topics right now and highly in demand. Commissioners, are there any other discussion questions?
I was just going to ask a little bit about if you can talk about your AI program, what you hope to accomplish through that, how you see that working.
Because AI has already changed the world, not only in the education matter, but also in the business matter. So we had a really strong advisory committee that consists in distinguished members from both local communities and the broader U.S. academic and business sectors, giving us the guidance we need and the industry insights so we can offer our students the best methodologies and insights for they can fulfill their potential in the business matters.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any public comments? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
So moved.
Seconded.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is Global Tech Florida University, number 13387. If anyone's here from the institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
Hi, good morning. My name is Hans von Buchwald. I'm the Director of Admission for Global Tech in Florida University, and I'm here with Alexandra Portalanza, Chief of Academic Affairs. Nice to meet you all. Thank you to be here.
Meet you. Thank you. Same questions I asked the previous institution. Maybe you can tell us what your value proposition is. I mean, as you know, there are a lot of institutions, and so what do you consider the distinguishing value that your institution offers students?
Thank you so much. It's a really good question, actually. And here at Global Tech Florida University, we have 5 main values that we are very, very keen to achieve. So first of all, we consider continuous innovation. Second, academic excellence. Third, global responsibility. Fourth, diversity and inclusion. And fifth, lifelong learning. And we consider these values very important for our program and our daily task. And of course, our main focus is to lead education and change the world through education.
Thank you. I'm just looking at your programs here. They're pretty broad. The educational management program, is that tied to any specific credentialing or role for education, such as specific requirements for administrative positions in the public school system, or do you see that as tying into any of the established structures?
Well, we have a variety of associate programs, bachelor's programs, and master programs, mainly focused in business, computing, marketing, and so on. And yeah, our main focus basically is to achieve education not only for the state of Florida, but also internationally.
Understood. I was asking specifically about your educational management master's program, 36 credits.
Could you help me with a more specific? So you would like me to explain a little bit more the administrative program?
No. What I was asking is, let's say somebody goes through that program, what kind of jobs would they be prepared to have? What do you see as the professional outcome of that program?
Oh yeah, the logo. Yeah, of course. Well, basically, our main programs as business administration is to have the variety of working different type of fields, not only in the private, in the public, but also in the future demands. We're talking about using AI technology to considering what's going to be the next future jobs. As a business administrative program, is very flexible, have the opportunity to be part of different type of fields. So, of course, taking into consideration technology as a tech university, it's important for us to embrace these new tools to develop new skills.
So thank you for that. But I'm asking specifically about your master's program in educational management. On the list, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 6 on the list.
Yes, our Master in Science and Educational Management, it's a very interesting program, specifically because we have discovered the amount of demand exists not only in the state of Florida, but also internationally, is interested in working in a better way to explain how to teach and make education a better proposal. So that's why we consider one of our main focus, the educational management. And of course, not only teachers and academic coordinators, but also directors and embrace to continue their path in this specific industry.
Commissioner Marty?
I want to ask about that same issue because being that that's what our expertise is, in reality, you need to be a teacher before you could get into these different things, and every different state have different requirements. But in general, throughout the world, you don't get to be an educational management if you haven't been teaching first. So I'm kind of a little confused about, because does that meet the any state requirement? Because you require, in the United States, they require a certificate. It's not only the master's to get into this job. So I'm like Commissioner Stefano, I'm pretty confused about how you're going to market this program and who the audience would be.
Well, again, I truly believe with this master we have the opportunity to embrace not just teachers, but also directors and coordination for schools, academic language schools, business schools, universities who could be able to manage in a better way with using the right tools to get a better educational proposal.
So I guess one way to clarify, I'm taking as implicit in what you're suggesting that this is targeted after higher education.
Mainly, yes.
Is that right? And the reason for asking this is that when somebody, so let me just kind of break down for you the implications and the rationale behind the inquiry, just so you understand what we're asking after. If somebody, for example, wanted to become a principal at a public school, or they wanted to assume various kind of educational leadership positions, some of these positions require certain kinds of certificates or certifications or different kind of professional achievements that any program that would serve somebody that is trying to get into that professional role would need to be in coordination with. And so that's why we're asking, well, who is your intended audience and what is the intended outcome of this? And have you thought about how this would align with those state requirements? And if you're imagining a different audience, then that would be important just for your own clarification and marketing of this to clarify, well, no, this is for higher education, which has different kind of requirements and different expectations. So this is why we're pushing you on it, just so you can better target the right clientele and ensure that the program you offer them will in fact result in professional development.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm 100% agree with you. I truly believe the requirements are important, and I understand that there are also another type of requirements to be a principal of a school or any type of educational institution. So that doesn't mean it's going to be part of. I mean, we're gonna explain in the program, but of course, if every single student would like to be a principal, they must complete their own requirements independently, totally separated of this program. So I understand that, and we understand in the marketing campaign to explain it as that way, in that sense.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any further discussion? All right, do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
Motion. Second.
For a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. So congratulations, and we look forward to hearing back on how these programs develop. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is number 3, International American University of Miami, number 13309. If there's anybody on the call from this university, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
Good morning. My name is Roderick Kolayani. I'm the president of International American University of Miami and campus director.
Thank you for being with us.
Morning, everybody. My name is Marie Bachelot. I am the Associate Director for Compliance and Quality Assurance.
Thank you. Is there anyone else on the call?
We have Ryan Doan, the president, but apparently he has some technical difficulties, so we'll just continue and he may join in, but he's apparently having issues with his computer.
Sure, no problem. Thank you for being with us. So, yeah, same question I asked the other institutions, if you don't mind. What is your value proposition? What distinguishes you in your proposed space? What do you uniquely offer? What value do you offer as an institution to students that makes you differentiated from your market competitors?
Sure. So first of all, International American University, we really committed to providing students with what we call rigorous educational programs, but also affordable. That's a key features. We foster international growth, global awareness, ethical leadership through innovative programs. And one of our differentiation and I think strengths is we really want to focus on employability, link with the industry and employers through practical training, a very, very strong career center and placements. So we want to contribute obviously to help the managers and leaders of tomorrow and be meaningful to our community and the employers in Florida.
Thank you. I see here that your primary focus is in business administration, and you have 3 master's level programs, 2 MBAs, MA, and then a BBA.
Correct.
With that focus, yeah. Which I mean, it makes sense as a starting strategy because it allows you to do more with minimal resources, right? Whereas if you diversify, you have to have faculty in different areas, so makes sense. I see here that it says online delivery, 100% online, asynchronous and synchronous, that is blended. But it also says online delivery, hybrid, asynchronous and synchronous. Could you speak to me about that?
Yes. So initially, I mean, at the end of the day, we want to do on-campus education, but we want to include hybrid. So let's say if we have 70% of the classes on campus, we allow ourselves for, let's say, 30% to be hybrid online. And while we were preparing for the application, we were asked to fill form, I believe, A, for the online and hybrid format to describe exactly how we will operate. So that's why we filled out this form for the online. But we do not intend to have in Miami 100% online. So it will be on campus with some components of hybrid.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, broadly, I mean, I'm interested to see how it pans out and how you negotiate the in-person versus online elements, and the online elements, which of those are synchronous versus asynchronous, and how exactly you optimize that, and how it relates to student outcomes. I mean, that's where the rubber hits the road, right? So I appreciate this. Commissioner, is there any other discussion?
To clarify, let's say we're gonna offer this program on campus with the students. The student will have to be present. They'll have to be in our Miami area, come on campus. But based on the professor, based on the type of courses, we will allow for the professor to do certain classes hybrid. So if there are some, let's say, case studies or things like that, where the student is not necessarily having to come on campus, we will allow the professor to have a certain number of classes, limited classes, to be online and hybrid with its student base.
And is this cohort based, meaning that a group starts at a given time together?
Yes, we will start with cohort, and then we will add as we go, throughout the process and through our growth. We will add different intakes where students can choose the different courses. But initially, we want to, obviously, for financial reason, for the start of the program, to have a cohort based with a set sequence of courses.
Great, thank you. Commissioners, any other questions?
I just have a quick question. If they're not planning to do 100% online, should we update the online program edition to not reflect that then?
So ideally, I would say let's leave it, because initially the first 2 years, most likely we will not do 100% online, but that can evolve. So if we have it part of our license, I would not take it off, to re-add it later, but it's not the initial intent.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
I just have another question, Vice Chair Stefano, and that is, do they realize all the contingencies and information that has to be submitted to be able to maintain the provisional license?
That's a good question.
Yes. And I believe we've sent some additional document late last night and early this morning. We were missing a few documents, but I think everything should be already in your hands, and it was sent to Andrea, I believe, this morning.
Great. Well, we don't see those things. We always get things lagged, in terms of when they're submitted. So we look forward to seeing them the next time you appear before us. Thank you.
So I believe there was the business license that was sent. There was, because we are also in the process of accreditation, and we started that. We have actually the site visit for the accreditors on August 26th, if I'm not mistaken, or 26 or 27. So all the documents were already provided.
Great. Is there any public comment? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
Motion. Second.
Great. First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Congratulations. Look forward to hearing about progress next time.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
All right, next on the agenda is International Dublin College, Coral Springs, number 13342. If anyone's present from this institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
Hello, I'm Justin Berkowitz, Campus President at International Dublin College.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm actually the previous past president of FAPS, and I was also on the CIE Rules Committee a long time ago.
All right. Yeah, well, hopefully you leave us a good Google review after this, so.
5 stars, right?
Yeah, there we go, all right. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about this institution and the value proposition.
IDC's mission is to provide distance education for adult learners committed to excellence. IDC offers professional significant degrees, innovative courses, aiming to foster quality education, lifelong learning with global substantiality goals in mind.
Okay. Looking here, so the programs that you currently have proposed are business administration programs, and it seems like you've developed an internal pipeline for each of these programs, as it were. They're in sequence. So you have your bachelor's, master's, and doctorate level for the business administration.
Yeah, that way we can watch our students grow within our programs, within our college, and obviously, live lifetime global goals and earning potential, employment opportunities, and so forth.
Right. And can you talk to me about the online delivery, 100% asynchronous, and how you expect to have a community of learning and to have kind of quality accountability with a 100% asynchronous program?
Our founders are a large company in Europe that has a very large LMS environment. They've been in the education industry for many years. So our background has over 30 years of education, compliance, and so forth. So We wanted to create an online learning environment that has the students can grow within our organization to mature themselves to the highest degree possible with their end goals in mind. So we wanted to offer all physically asynchronous online, and we have a network in place and customer service, student services in place to gradually help them along the way. So we believe the online environment is more valuable for hardworking adults and people getting out of high school and so forth, getting their first job. So we wanted to be there to help them along the way.
All right. Well, it certainly makes it flexible. That's true. But are there any particular mechanisms that you have in place to ensure quality or to kind of guide students in a asynchronous structure?
So we'll have assigned online student services representatives attached to different cohorts to guide them along the way, sort of like a tour guide to be there along the way through each course. Obviously, our instructors will play a valuable role, but we'll have online representatives, student services representatives assigned to each of the students or different cohorts that guide them through different questions, technical issues if they appear, so forth, any questions they might have, to guide them from start, obviously through the orientation side, jumping in their first course, migrating through the different courses, and of course at the end, and keep in touch with our alumni is super important as well.
And in terms of the course developments, how are you handling the subject matter experts to develop the courses? Is it
subject matter experts are not just here in the United States, but globally as well, with PhD or higher curriculums, to have a background of over 25 years in creating content, educational content for each of our classes and each of our programs. Plus, we teamed up with different publishers as well as a online library system that has a master's librarian inside each course to be there along the way to guide our students through any research materials and so forth.
So would you be licensing the course content from the experts and then just kind of using that on an ongoing basis?
No, our course content are our own internal people inside the organization.
Okay. Are there any other questions that commissioners may have?
Again, same question as the last one, and that is, do they understand the 6 contingencies that they need to comply with?
Yep. We've submitted everything to Ms. Andrea last week, and we fulfilled all the different contingencies requested.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Is there any public comment? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
Motion.
Second.
First and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you, Commission. Have a great day.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is LECOM at Jacksonville University, number 13370. If anyone is here from the institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
Richard Terry. I'm the Vice President of Health Sciences for LECOM.
I'm Dr. Sylvia Freddy. I'm the Provost of LECOM stationed in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Matthew Bateman, Assistant Provost for Institutional Effectiveness.
Steve Inman, VP Fiscal Affairs, CFO for LECOM.
Great. Is that everyone from your institution?
Yes. We have one
right,
more person
great.
on, but she probably won't be speaking, yes.
All right, well, thank you. So I see here that it's a doctor program, osteopathic medicine. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about your institution's background and its relation to Florida and other states.
Well, Lecom, of course, is out of Erie, Pennsylvania for now almost 35 years. That's where our original campus is. We've been in Florida since 2004, having graduating our first class in Bradenton, having a branch campus there and providing physicians for Florida now for nearly 20 years. Our interest in Jacksonville is because there's a tremendous shortage of physicians nationally, but particularly in Florida, where the Florida State Association, Florida Medical Association, estimated some 17,000 shortage by 2035. Of that, about almost 6,000 primary care. Our focus has always been primary care, going to areas that need physicians. About 70% of our grads historically from all of our 4 campuses, including Bradenton, go into primary care. So we see a need. Jacksonville did not have a medical school. Now they can. And we've been very fortunate to partner with a number of the large health systems there to create clinical rotations, which are so critical for students, but moreover, develop graduate medical education programs, which we have been doing for the past 2 years. And we've had a presence in Jacksonville with clinical students there now for nearly 6 years. So we're well familiar with the area. And this was just a natural extension of what we've been doing to develop a campus there to meet the need for more physicians.
That's fantastic. Thank you. It's a pressing need, and we could. It's a tough road, starting a medical institution just with the rigorous kind of requirements and capital that's required. So kudos to you for responding to this call.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any comments or discussion? No? Any public comments? All right, hearing none. Do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
Motion. Motion.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is University Seal number 13340. If there's anyone here from the institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
Good morning, commissioners and staff. This is Dr. Jose Otero of Otero Consulting Group, and I am here with some of the staff from University Seal.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Ricardo Marafon. I am the Chief Academic Officer.
Good morning, commissioners. This is Brandon Enrique de Oliveira Mohali, CFO.
Good morning. Is there anyone else on the call?
No.
Yep. Okay, great. Thank you for being here. So maybe you can answer the same question I've asked the other institutions about their value proposition and what they distinctively bring to the market.
Okay, so the university name is University Seal, and Seal means for us science empowering all lives. So for us, the most important values that we believe that the most objective or purpose of value of any educational process is to help and support people to grow in their own life project. So this is our main value proposition, and we're gonna offer our programs through our vision and our mission. That includes inclusive, accessible, and useful education for the student's life project.
Okay, thank you. So I appreciate the mission orientation that you have articulated with your anagram here. I see here that you have a program, 3 master's programs, business administration, education, and legal studies. And I'm wondering if you could just shed some light on what the focus is for the education and legal studies, and what the kind of career paths that you anticipate are for students matriculating in those programs.
Yes, we don't want to, in our Master of Education, we don't want to qualify people for teaching. We are preparing and developing competencies of teaching to work in the business education, which is very necessary in a constantly world changing, where everything is about education. When you talk about every growth process in industries and all the sectors, education is the center. So we want to develop competencies for people in this field with this objective.
So it sounds like you're saying that the focus is more on the business application of education. Is that right?
Yeah, it's more in the business of education, to be more clear.
Right. So how to open a K through 12 school, or just, help me, give me an example here of what you mean.
Yeah.
No, it's more on in the education, the education industry, including everything, not K-12, not focused on K-12 or higher education, but everything. If you see our curriculum structure, you will see that.
So give an example of who you think would want to come to your program, and what type of job would they get when they graduate?
Our main goal is to empower professors who want to have a higher position in the educational institutions.
Okay.
And for example, also Cisco company, it's a software company, and they need, for example, to qualify people for their certificates. And we're gonna support with people prepared to do this kind of training as well.
So if I understand correctly, you are not trying to prepare individuals to be principals or presidents of a college or principal of a school, but you have a system for like companies that want to have an education director. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's it.
And you feel, and who would who would be your target recruiting group? How will you find these people? What background do they have to succeed on that master?
People interested in this, and people who understand that these skills and competencies will support their personal growth and professional growth.
Just a quick comment here. So just to make a analytic distinction between somebody playing a role of, let's say, a leadership role in education, but their context is in a business organization. So if somebody, let's say it's going to be an education director for X corporate company, then their context is the corporate company, right? Even though their own training would be in how to effectively administer education in that context, which is distinct from, say, somebody being an effective administrator in a primarily educational context, where you're thinking about student enrollments and different government programs and things, and accreditation and things like that, right? And it's interesting that looking at the program outline, it seems like your program has elements of both of these, I would just encourage you to really think about who your target audience is so that it could be maximally useful to that audience. I'll give you an example here. So if you look at the course breakdown, if you're thinking primarily about somebody playing an education role in a corporate setting, then a lot of these courses would apply, except that you would need to tailor them to that context. So instead of administration in educational organizations, it'd be administration in corporate organizations, right? Where they would play that role, even though they're the education person. They would still, the innovations and emerging technologies and learning, that's still fine. The, instructional design is perfect. Here, personal development and human resources in education, well, really, it would be personnel development and human resources is in business, if that's really the case. Right? So I'm just encouraging you to try to think through the user journey, is what I would call it, right? You're recruiting a student, and I want you to imagine a student, whoever it is, student A, and I want you to think about, okay, they go through your program, all right? They're going to spend money, they're going to pay you guys, all right? And they're going to be expected to land a job and have some sort of career trajectory. What does that look like? Okay, so let's say it's career trajectory A, all right, but you don't want to limit yourself to that and say you want another one. Okay, so then do it for B and then do it for C, and think about what a reasonable range of career trajectories that this program can offer, and what is the common foundation that would service all of those trajectories so that they can have concrete, implementable value that is delivered through your program. And part of the challenge here is that a program that's available and useful to everyone is useful to no one, right? So it's a matter of having the optimal amount of focus and flexibility to really service a particular target clientele. Dr. Otero, does this make sense in my
Yes, it does. And as I hear him speak, I'm like, okay, this didn't translate well. But the intent is, we've done research and we have found a lot of corporate entities have gone into the business of education, which is what I call it. And they're providing, obviously curriculum and a lot of few things, but it is never intended to be in the classroom. And again, these folks are going for the business entity that qualifies them for different types of salaries, and different type of leverage in the business world. Right now, and for those of you who are in education, know that corporate companies are constantly tapping you on the shoulder to kind of swap out of the classroom and go with them. What happens in that process, having observed that, we learned that there's a skill set missing, which is it's good that they have the academic knowledge, but they're missing the business aspect of, okay, we're going to do this, but we have to be able to make money on it. So this integration allows, and again, it didn't come across well here, but certainly internally, we're going to address that. And your suggestions are very, very well taken in the sense that, yeah, we have to clarify that, at least in the communication to students, that this is going to put them more in the corporate environment than in the classroom, and we will articulate that. It's been a long road in the journey to do this, only because a lot of research had to be done for this. Now that we're comfortable that there will be placements for these students, it's the only time that we're starting to offer this part, and we're going to start doing a lot more of this.
It seems like an exciting and much needed contribution. Honestly, and I think that if this were packaged well, it could be a very successful program and one that meets a high demand. I mean, every corporation has staff and personnel that need upskilling, and someone who could truly activate and enhance the skills of existing personnel and be, kind of an effective steward of that skill development would offer immense value to any organization, because they would exponentially increase the efficiency and effectiveness of everyone at the institution. So it seems like this is a program that can have a lot of appeal, but the current outline of it seems very still entrenched in a traditional educational leadership model that doesn't fully translate the vision that's being proposed.
Would you feel more comfortable if we added more description into some of the course descriptions?
Yeah, I think for the institution's own benefit, it would make sense to think through this course, breakdown and to tailor it for that context. Maybe Director Hurst could provide some guidance on how we could give them the ability to modify maybe the course breakdown before you get locked in with the provisional license. And that way it could be more aligned with this target focus that I think would appeal to a lot of potential, customers down the line.
And that's agreed. And if we can actually be able to work that process, that would be fantastic.
Dr. Hurst, could you provide some maybe recommendations on how this might be done?
Dr. Otero, just to speak to you about changing the program. As you're well aware, during a provisional license, there can't be changes to more than 20% of the program substantially. So if this is something that you're looking at changing a substantial percentage of this program, it might be best not to include this program currently and then add it later. Or if you're going on with the current course titles, your course codes, your current description, you won't be able to change it more than 20% in that first year.
Correct. And the intent is not to do more than 20%, as the entire piece still stays particularly the same. In the just on top in the description, it would be a little more elaborate. And then I'm referring to the 302 description on top.
So if it's just the description, we can work with you to be within that 20%. If it's substantial, that's what I'm saying. Just be careful with when you're looking at this. If you're looking at actually changing the curriculum at a 20% rate, that's where we would have some concerns. If you're changing the descriptions just to give more information and clarity on what you're trying to do and to guide these students, staff will work with you.
Sure. And that would be fantastic. Yeah, we really are fixed on being able to provide these programs, but the way they're going to be executed and the goal, the focus is going to be a little different than traditional classroom personnel.
If I may, just so for your consideration, I think that if you look at EDU 560 and EDU 570, the word education there, as opposed to, let's say, business, that would still fall within the 20%. I believe. Is that right, Dr. Hurst?
Yeah, one other thing. Sorry, we don't really want to change the titles only because the resource processes in education are a little different regarding, it's still resources in education. In education, when you're talking about personnel, so for example, if one of these courses, in this particular case, talks about, okay, this is how you're going to manage this. So if you're working, let's say for Cisco systems, they have these networking academies and all this other technology they put out there, and now there's plenty of competitors. It's going to be, while it's still human resources and education, it is in the business of education. So, and I appreciate you mentioning the business part, but we can't really we can add the word the business of education, but it's going to be focused for personnel who will understand the processes within, for example, an org chart. And when they create courses and programs, they have to understand the synergies. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. All right. So, whatever you deem suitable and for the organization, I kind of leave that in your court. But this was a clarifying and a great discussion. Thank you. So I think we're good to move forward. Is there any public comment on the matter?
Vice Chair Stefano, so just to clarify, is the motion going to depart in any way from the executive director's recommendation?
It is not. It's not. I mean, we just heard that he doesn't intend on changing the course titles. The curriculum will stay the same, and at most he will add something to the description, and the staff will have to vet that it doesn't change, more than 20% within this type of licensure. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Dr. Hurst, does that sit well with you? I think
yes,
you just
sorry,
got,
we had some
okay.
technical difficulties. Yes, we will work with the institution with their program descriptions.
Great, thank you. All that said, is there any further discussion by the commissioners? No? All right. Can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, we have Western University, number 13290. If anyone's here from the institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
Good morning. I'm Swapnil Kothari, President of Western University.
Good morning. This is Dr. Divyadit Kothari, Chief Academic Officer, Western University.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Shyam Bhatia. I'm Chief Financial Officer of Western University.
Good morning. This is Sagar Garg, Head of Student Recruitment.
Good morning. This is Dr. Joshua Stagner. I'm the Campus Administrator.
Morning. Is that everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, great. Thank you for being here. I see here you have a wide range of programs. Maybe you could tell us about what your value proposition is.
Good morning, everyone. Our university stands out by offering affordable, accessible, flexible, and innovative programs designed for students and working professionals. At the same time, we have conventional philosophy. Some may call it old school. We believe that education should develop skills, should enhance knowledge, but at the same time, it should give clarity in thinking process. I mean, students should not only be taught what to think, but they should be taught how to think. At the same time, we want that when student completes our program, he or she should have value creation ability. By value creation ability, I mean they should be able to create value for industry.
Okay, great. I see here that it's online delivery 100% asynchronous. So maybe you could speak about how you see that happening, how you'll have quality controls. If students have questions, is there opportunity for engagement with experts or with one another in a community of learning? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what this looks like and how you plan on offering it.
David? Good morning, Commissioners. So, yes, it's 100% online and asynchronous delivery, but at the same time, we would be engaging students through batch facilitators, coordinators, and we would be introducing a Prodigy mentorship program in which we would be engaging with every student, tracking their progress, and would be helping them, guiding them how to navigate through their education journey. Because I believe in any asynchronous delivery program, There should be some one with the flag guiding everyone where to reach and what milestones to achieve.
Did you say Prodigy Mentorship Program? Is that what I heard?
Yes.
All right. Great. And is that the mentorship assignment there? Is it like students are assigned to a specific mentor that kind of follows them throughout the course, or, their program, or is there just kind of a general resource available? How does that work?
So the batch coordinator and the faculties, every batch has 2 to 3 mentors, primarily their teachers. They guide them through the process.
Yeah, thank you. Commissioners, any other questions? No? Is there any public comment? Right. If there's no further discussion, can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dr. Hurst, I'll just ask for your assistance at any point where we have a write-in, since those aren't in necessarily in the agenda script that I have. So if I happen to skip over one, please stop me in my tracks and let me know.
I will be happy to do so.
Thank you. All right. Next on the agenda, we're in section C, return to annual license. We have one institution in this space here called Kepler Space University, number 6133. If there's anyone here from that institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
Hello, this is Natay Sushariba, VP Administration for Kepler Space University. Sorry.
Great, thank you. Is anyone else on the call from your organization?
I believe our president, Harun Okab, is also logged in, but I know he's been having some technical difficulties today, so he may not be able to speak.
Okay. So we see here that there is a significant change in your working capital and net income from the last time that you were at the commission?
Yes, which is why we're returning to our annual license. We had a little bit of a transition when we were moving from the institute structure to the university structure, and had a lot of expenses that year and took a little dip, and now we're going strong. Everything is moving back in the right direction, and we're very happy to see our university back on the annual license.
Great. Are there any questions from commission staff? Commissioner Caballero, any questions regarding the finances at all?
No, it's going in the right direction. It's an important thing.
Great. All right. Is there any public comment? All right, hearing none. Do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
Motion.
Second.
First, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, congratulations and welcome back to annual license.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next year.
Thank you. All right, next section is section D, application for annual license. We have 6 institutions on this section, and they'll be taken individually. The first in this section is Carver University, number 12743. If anyone is on the line for this institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, and introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else from the organization.
Good morning. My name is Juan Pablo Laporte. I'm the president of Carver University.
Good morning. My name is Ignacio Rivera. I'm member of the board of Carver University.
Hi, my name is Fernando Fajardo. I'm the registrar.
Great. Thank you for being here. Is that everyone from your institution?
No, Hernan Lopez, the Chief Academic Officer, he will not be able to attend this meeting.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Ask the commissioners if there's any discussion.
On.
No? All right. Looking here at the student data, could you speak to me about your and projections for next year?
Well, currently, as you know, we are in the early stage of a long-term project of developing a university. Currently, we hold a total of 274 students, and we are carrying out developing projects to reach at least 400 students in the next year. But as I said before, this is a long-term project which is supported by its parent company, which is a university in Chile, a non-for-profit university in Chile. So we are planning in 5 years to reach our maximum capacity, and we estimate, we hope, 2,000 students in 4 or 5 years. But now for next year, our forecast is to reach 400 students.
All right. Thank you. There's no further discussion. Is there any public comment? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is Excelsior University, number 12928. If anyone is on the line from this institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
Hello, thank you for having us. My name is David Scable. I'm president of Excelsior University, and I have several colleagues.
Morning, this is Chris Gassier. I'm the provost at Excelsior University.
And good morning, this is Mike DeCiano, serving as legal counsel to the university.
And good morning, my name is Dr. Joseph Levy. I'm the Associate Vice Provost of Accreditation and Quality Improvement.
Thank you for being here. So I see here you offer quite a range of programs. How's it going, and what do you see as your prospect for next year?
So it's going very well. We are in the process of transitioning students to hybrid modalities. In the first year of our current provisional approval, our students have been studying mostly online, and we are setting up, or we're actually in the final phase of setting up our site in St. Petersburg. And so currently in these programs, we have 54 Florida residents who registered this year. And we expect those enrollments to grow to about 200 in the coming year.
Okay. Any particular challenges that you've encountered along the way that you're proud to have navigated?
No, the students are doing very well, and I think you'll be pleased to know that we have Excelsior University has currently about 500 Florida residents in programs in addition to these, but the programs other than the ones here are fully online. So that's why we did not submit that to CIE. And we also have just under 17,000 alumni who work in Florida and reside in Florida. And one of the main reasons why we're so interested in setting up this site is really to better engage with our Florida students, since we have a large number of them, and our alumni. Excelsior University also enrolls 40% of our students who are either active members of the military or veterans. And as you all know, there are many veterans that live between St. Petersburg and Orlando, and we plan to target those individuals significantly, providing them with an array of services in addition to educational opportunities.
Great. Thank you. Could you elucidate just a bit the other programs and that you mentioned?
You mean the ones that are fully online?
Yes.
Oh, we have programs in the liberal arts and sciences, programs in nursing, pre-licensure nursing, et cetera.
Director Hurst, are these the type of programs that would be listed on the form that discloses like the other programs that an institution has, or could you provide some context?
I can. So Excelsior University is also a private university in New York. So when he's speaking to the online programs, he is talking about the students that are enrolled in that New York campus, and they're doing them fully online, which that is allowable for Florida students to do that. For any of his programs that are associated with his Florida Institute, his campus, they would have to be approved by this commission, and that's the list that you see in front of you.
Fantastic. Thank you. That little missing link of the story just kind of put all the pieces in place. Thank you. Is there any further discussion by the commissioners? Any public comment? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
Motion.
Second.
All right, first, second, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on the list, we have Kennedy University of Leadership, number 12748. If anyone is here from the institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, and introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
Hi, my name is Amir Tirani. I'm the operations manager at Kennedy University of Leadership.
Hi, my name is Nina Patton. I'm the global compliance manager for Kennedy University of Leadership.
Thanks for being here. Anyone else from your institution?
No, it's just the two of us this morning.
All right, great. All right, thank you for being here. So maybe you could just briefly share with us how is it going, what your current enrollments are, and what your projections are for next year.
Amir, would you like to take this one?
Sure. Council, thank you for asking the question. We are in line with the projections that we had for the year. We are currently with about 37 students, which is in line with the projections we had, more than any number we've had last year, which was our first year in operation. And we had our highest intake in Q4 of last year, which we are very excited about.
And in terms of projections for next year?
Could you repeat that, please?
In terms of projections for next year?
We are hoping to continue on this trend. We are also in the process of accreditation, which we think is going to help significantly with the number of our students, hoping to have 100 active students next year at any term.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or discussions? No? Any public comment? All right, hearing none, do you have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
All right, first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner Marty? Sorry, aye, okay. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Commissioners, would it be possible to just clarify one administrative element, please? Do we have a minute?
Sure.
Thank you. The staff recommendation letter that we received referred to license renewal in March next year, which was our original date. But when we applied for extensions, both for May and now into this July meeting, we also requested a formal change of cycle permanently to this July meeting because it aligns better with our financial reporting, etc. And I just wanted to double check whether that's something that's possible, whether it needs to be noted here in the meeting or is something that's handled outside of the meeting by our program specialists.
Director Hurst, do you mind taking this question?
So I don't have the request in front of me, but are you asking for your renewal cycle to occur each July?
That's correct. Yes, please.
And is that, can you give me a little bit of an explanation of why you wanted the July meeting?
That was mainly to do with the end of year financial statements being able to be produced because of how the paperwork needs to be submitted in for the meetings. It's usually 4 months lead time. And it just made a lot more sense for us to be able to compile and get all the accounts audited in time for the meeting.
Okay, understood. So if you could send your program specialist that request, I would appreciate it. I know you've said that it may have been in your request for extension last time. If you'll just send that separately to your program specialist. But commissioners, I do not have an issue with moving her to the July 2nd or the July cycle. So that being said, if it is amenable to the commission, we will modify her last recommendation to state that she needs to submit a complete application no later than 120 days prior to July 31st, 2026.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay, so commissioners, is everyone amenable to this?
Yes.
Yeah, great. So can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation with the revised contingency, changing the March date to the July date? Dr. Hurst, do you have the exact date?
It will be July 31st, 2026.
Okay, changing it to July 31st, 2026. That motion?
Motion.
Second.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. So there we have it. And just to clarify, I believe this is sufficient, right? Is that correct, Director Hurst?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. All right, so next on the agenda is Orlando School of Nursing, number 12838. If anyone's here from the institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else from the organization.
Good morning. It's Dr. Jenny Johnson. I am the Dean and Administrator for Orlando School of Nursing.
Good morning. I'm Anthony Chambers. I'm the Finance and Business Office Manager for the Orlando School of Nursing.
And this is Bob Harris, legal counsel for the Orlando School of Nursing, Tallahassee office, Messer Caparella. Good morning, everyone.
All right. So maybe you could share a little bit just about how it's going and what your projections are for next year.
It's going very well. We are recruiting, as we say it, that our projections for next year are over 150 students. By fall, coming for our fall semester, we've already more than doubled our current population. So I believe once our name got into the community with our marketing efforts, that our leads and our applicants have come very strong to us.
That's great. And what's your current enrollment?
We have current enrollment 22.
Okay. And that's does that include the amount that you're saying is poised for enrollment in the fall, or is that not including that?
That's active students. That's current active students, not including enrollment for fall.
Got it. Okay. Great. Thank you. Commissioners, any discussion? Is there any public comment? All right. Hearing none, do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Great. First, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. The motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Thank you
Commissioner.
very much.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Next on the list is the Roskamp Institute, number 12963. If anyone's here from the institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, and introduce yourself, your role, anyone else from the institution.
Hello. This is Dr. Fiona Crawford. I'm the director of the PhD program at the Institute.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I believe you may have two devices going on simultaneously in the same room, which is causing a bit of a feedback issue on our side. If you could move one of the devices, either close them out or move to a different room, we'd appreciate it. And if you'll raise your hand again so we can unmute you.
Okay, is this okay now?
That's much better. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of scary at this end too. Sorry about that. I'm Dr. Fiona Crawford. I'm the director of the PhD program here at the Roskamp Institute, and I am with Dr. Corbin Bachmeyer, who's the associate director, and Lauren Horn, who is our program assistant.
Thank you for being here. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about how it's going and what your projections are for next year.
We're very happy with how everything's going. We got our license last August. This time last year we had one student. We've quadrupled our numbers now. We've got 4 students. We enrolled 3 new students in June, July of this year. And the original student should actually be completing later this year, but it's going extremely well.
Great. And just curious here, I see that it's a highly specialized kind of program, neuroscience. And what are the kind of career options for someone graduating from your program?
Absolutely. Most of the folks in our program go on to be career scientists. We did previously run the program under a different license, and we had 19 graduates from that program. They've gone on to be professors at Harvard, University of Pennsylvania, work at the FDA, work for Thermo Scientific, but it's typically folks stay in an academic or a for-profit business research career going forward. Or many of them have actually continued work with us here at the Roskamp Institute and are now senior scientists with the Institute, capable of bringing in their own federal funding from the Department of Defense, the VA, and the National Institutes of Health.
Thank you. Commissioners, any discussion? Is there any public comment? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
So moved. Motion. Seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda, we have Westcliff University number 11421. If there's anyone in the institution on the call, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
Hello, Dr. Matthew Hubbs, Vice President of Strategic Initiatives and Accreditation Liaison Officer with Westcliff University.
And Chris Giorgetti, Ferguson, Santoro, and Giorgetti Educational Consultants. Good morning, Commissioners.
Okay.
Hello.
All right.
We can't hear anything.
We can't hear anything.
We can hear you.
I'm not sure who else. It's only Dr. Hubbs and myself, Dr. Sperano, so I'm not sure.
All right. Well, thank you, whoever it was, for stopping by and greeting us. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about how it's going and what your projections are for next year, and maybe just elucidate a little bit about the financial situation. This is a situation where there's kind of a large discrepancy between the working capital and the total assets, and so maybe you could just shed some light on that as well.
Dr. Sperano, I'll take that for Dr. Hubbs. We've been working, Dr. Hubbs and I, with the CFO for Westcliff, and also working with CIE staff, and what's going to be done, which is why this is being extended. The extension of provisional is because we're going to come back and we're going, is someone there? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Okay.
Okay. All right. I heard somebody come in. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
We're going to come back to September meeting. The CFO is working on a campus financial statement to present to the commission, because we understand, Westcliff's a very large, as you can tell by the numbers, a very large institution that has multiple campuses around the world now. And we want to be able to demonstrate just the Orlando campus and not necessarily the entire Westcliff corporation, because they have a lot of things going on, obviously, with acquiring different facilities, starting new campuses around the world. So that's why the financials look the way they do. The CFO will be in person in September, as well as Dr. Hubbs. We'll all be at the meeting in September, and they will expand upon that then in person.
Great. Commissioners, are there any further discussion? No. Any public comment? No. Do I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. All right, the motion carries. Thank you, and thank you for the explanation.
Thank you, Dr. Sperano. Thanks, commissioners. Have a great day.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. All right, so section E, there are no applications for extension of annual license. And that brings us to section F, application for annual renewal. Director Hirsch, how is the staff feeling about need for a break? Do staff feel able to maybe hold off until after we get through this upcoming section, or
Staff would appreciate a quick 10-15 minute break.
all right, let's do that. So it's 10:40. Let's come back at 10:50. So we'll see everyone here in 10 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners, we are back from break. One second, Dr. Stefano. We are unmuting you. Commissioner Stefano, can you try speaking again? Commissioner Batista, can you speak?
I can hear you.
Okay. Commissioner Stefano, can you try again? We can see your mouth moving, but we can't hear you. It is still muted on our side.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so apparently only my right earbud has a microphone. So, okay. I was trying to swap them out to extend the battery, but it will stick with the right one. Sorry about that. So I believe we were on section F, is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, so let us proceed here. So section F, application for annual renewal. We'll take this section by consent. Is there a motion to consider the 18 applications by consent?
Motion. Second.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion to take the section by consent passes. I'll now ask each commissioner and Director Hurst whether there are any items they would like to pull. First, I'll start with Director Hurst. Does staff wish to recommend pulling any items?
Number 1, please.
One, okay. Commissioner Marty?
Number 1.
One, okay. Commissioner Batista?
Number 1 also.
Okay. Commissioner Caballero?
None additional.
None additional, okay. Commissioner Litvak?
None additional also.
Great. And for myself, none additional. So are there any public comments on any of the institutions not pulled, that is numbers 2 through 18?
No public comment.
Okay. Hearing no comments, can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendations for institutions 2 through 18?
So
Motion.
All right, for a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion to adopt institutions number 2 through 18 is approved. Thank you. So we will now consider institution number 1 on the list, American College of Health and Sciences, number 5091. If there's anyone here from that institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else from the institution.
There is no one on the line.
Okay. So Director Hurst, would you mind giving the commission a summarized sense of the status and any conversations that have transpired with the institution?
Yes, I do believe that there are 2 individuals that have just joined. So we will
Can you hear me?
Director Hurst, would you mind giving the commission
Yes, we can hear you.
And the status and any conversations that have transpired with the institution?
Yeah, I do believe that there are 2 individuals that have just joined. So we will let So the individuals that are with the institution, it appears that you may be watching the video of us on delay at your location. If you could turn that off, we would appreciate it. We're just hearing the feedback of ourselves on loop, and it'll just make it easier to have a conversation if that's not playing in the background. Thank you. And Dr. Stefano, would you still like me to give an overview, or would you like to speak to the institution video first? Of us on delay at your location. If you could turn that.
All right. It's always amusing to hear how different your voice sounds in recording than
Mine's always
to
much
yourself.
higher than I anticipated being.
Yeah, if you could please provide an overview while they work through the audio, that would be fantastic.
Sure. So the staff recommendation as currently in front of the commissioners is granting this application and denying the application in part because we are finding that the institution fails to be in full compliance to hold an annual license. And that is due to the failure of the institution to pay all appropriate application fees and the failure of the institution to maintain a graduation rate of 55% or greater. In lieu of the annual license, we are recommending the commission issue a provisional license, which shall remain active and valid through July 31st, 2026, with the following 8 contingencies being met.
Is there have the audio situation with the representatives from the institution been sorted out? Are they maybe available?
Contingencies being met.
Hi, I actually raised my hand, but I'm not from that institution. I just had a comment for Jose Maria Vargas University's application.
The audio situation with the representatives from the institution.
Hi there.
I see. Hi. Okay.
I actually raised my hand, but I'm not from that institution. I'm from Jose Maria Vargas University. I just wanted to make a little comment.
Is your comment related to the institution we're currently considering or related to Jose Maria Vargas University?
But I think there was a confusion because I just raised my hand for Jose Maria Vargas University, which was accepted in the staff recommendation. I just wanted to make a little comment about that. But so that's why I raised my hand. And I think, I think it got mixed up with this institution. So I'm just representing Jose Maria Vargas.
But so maybe we could complete our consideration of the current institution, and then if you have a comment, I will call upon you immediately after we pass whatever resolution it is for the current institution. Does that sound amenable?
Yes, we have muted him on our end, and we will pick him back up at the conclusion of the conversation related to American College of Health and Sciences.
Okay, great. But is there anyone from that other institution present?
Yes, there are 2 individuals on the line.
Okay, great. Would you mind introducing yourself and specifying your role?
Conversation related to American College of Health and Sciences.
Ms. Delilah.
There are 2 individuals on the line.
Okay, great.
Ms. Delilah, I think you still have us playing in the background. Are you able to hear me? Ms. Delilah, can you raise your hand again? We're going to try to bring you back into the meeting. Is she on?
Delilah, can you raise your hand again? We're going to try to bring you back into the meeting.
Hello, this is Delilah.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you please specify
Delilah,
your role?
I'm trying to bring you back into the meeting.
Can you hear us? Hello, this is Delilah.
Ms. Delilah, it appears that you have 2 different devices on in the same room, so you are experiencing a significant delay between your input to the commission and what you are hearing. So if you could turn off one of those devices, we would appreciate it.
Yes, hi, this is Delilah Bartolome. I'm the executive director. There must be a confusion because I sent actually not even a college check, but a bank certified check directly to Turlington.
Ms. Delilah, we have not received that check yet. Do you know the date that it was sent?
I don't have it offhand, but definitely I can scan it and send it. That's why whenever I send a check, I get a bank certified check.
Madam, has that cash been checked? So, sorry, has that check been cashed?
It's a bank. I can go to the bank and find out from the bank if it was it's a bank draft. I can go to the bank today and find out. Definitely, when I send the application, I send the payment.
Well, Commissioners, I don't think that that's an issue. If in fact that contingency has been satisfied and we can confirm that, then it'll be a satisfied contingency. Otherwise, a cashier's check from a bank can always be canceled and resent.
Okay, great.
I'm more than happy to send it today.
And a question for you, have you reviewed the staff recommendations and do you understand all the contingencies that are present?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great. Looking here at your graduation rate, and I'm wondering if you could speak a little bit about that. Maybe you could just give us some explanation as to, what's going on and what you've done to ameliorate that. We have lagged information, and so hoping you can give us a kind of a more updated picture.
What specifically you want to know about the graduation?
I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to hear you because there's an echo.
Can you tell me more specific? What do you want to know about the graduation?
What are you doing to improve it?
Yeah, the graduation rate in 23-24, it was at 40%.
When you say, oh, you're talking about, that's because some students, they work part-time only. Actually, just 2 months ago, we graduated 40 students because most of our students are part-time only, so it takes them a long time to finish.
Dr. Hurst, could you provide some clarity here? If somebody is still enrolled in a program and the duration of that program is extended because of a part-time status, that shouldn't adversely affect their graduation rate. That should just count towards their retention rate. Is that correct?
So the school would be responsible for declaring how long these programs are, and the way that the calculation works is it asks whether the student has graduated within 1.5 times of its graduation date. So from their enrollment date to the date they graduate, they have 1.5 times of that period to graduate in order to be counted towards this favorably towards this graduation rate. In this specific instance, the issue was with the nursing AS program, your Associates in Science Nursing, and while the school reported that there were 4 graduates in 23-24, they did not report any students as graduating within 1.5 times.
But does the program have a specified or intentionally distinct part-time track?
About 90% of our students are working students. So they take classes, 1 or 2 classes. We have very few students that is just full-time. In the last semesters, 90% of our students graduated. We just 2 months ago, we graduated 40 students. We still have 10% that still working on their credits. We cannot just pass a student just because it's already due for 2 years. We make sure that they completed all the requirements, especially the clinical aspects. If they haven't completed the clinical, we wait until they complete the clinical. Our professor doesn't even pass them if they don't complete the care plan. If they didn't submit their care plan or their patient teaching plan, we don't pass them. We wait until they complete the whole thing.
Okay, let me pause for a second. And Dr. Hirsch, could you provide just some clarity for us? So just conceptually, and then it's just so that the entire commission is clear on these, the way that we should approach this scenario, and then we could speak about the specifics of this institution. So suppose a school has a full-time track that is completed within X timeline, and then they also have a part-time track that's completed within Y timeline. How are they supposed to report or specify those parameters so that the graduation rate can be calculated appropriately for each of those respective tracks?
So when the institution is looking at the 801 form, it's just going to have a box of graduates, and then there is a little box underneath that asks for the number of graduates that finished within 1 1/2 times their initial enrollment period during the reporting period. So when the institution sets up those two different tracks and says that these number of students are going on a part-time, so they should be graduating within X amount of clock hours or days, years, they should be tracking that, and then they need to reflect that on their 801 form when they're reporting each year. They're not going to have a separate form for tracks that are part-time versus the full-time because of how they have this program structured, but they can report it correctly in the 801 form.
Right, but that presupposes that the initial specifications of the duration of the program specify both of those options. Is that correct?
That would be correct with the enrollment agreement with the student. So they would need to specify on the enrollment agreement with the student what their anticipated graduation date is going to be for this, especially if the student is part-time.
Okay, so now that's perfect. Let me now come back to the representative from the institution. Does your enrollment agreement reflect both options, a full-time and part-time option, and actually list the projected graduation date for each of those tracks?
Definitely, our enrollment agreement got an option of part-time and full-time, and the projection of their graduation. However, it's not always a perfect scenario that put in there full-time and then all of a sudden they have to go to work. And then their job doesn't give them the day off, then they have to drop a certain subject. Delilah, this semester I can only take 2 subjects. I cannot take all these classes. So that makes them behind. It's very hard to control the schedule because most of the students are working full-time and they're trying to finish their nursing.
Understood, but if somebody has part-time status, then you would calculate their completion within 1 to 1.5 times the projected duration of the program, and that would already be projected based upon a part-time progression rate. And so if you calculate it that way, then the way in which you would have a lower graduation rate is if someone doesn't finish the program, they drop out, or if they're extending beyond that part-time projection rate by more than 1.5 times. Is that correct, Dr. Hirsch?
Yes, that is correct.
So I think that if that's the case, then what you're describing is a lot more than just they're working and they have to kind of progress slower, because presumably the part-time rate already accounts for that.
That's correct.
Okay. And so if that's the case, then what are you doing to improve the graduation rate? I mean, how much of this percentage is students extending beyond that time frame, and how much of it is students dropping out of the program?
In our last semester, we have 90% of the students graduated. We got 10% right now that is not, they didn't complete all the requirements. So we're waiting for them to complete the requirements. But we have improved that already. We've been pushing them to finish the courses. That's why we're up to 90% last semester.
Okay. Well, glad to hear of that, that progress. Commissioners, do you have any other points of discussion? No? All right. Is there any public comment for this institution? No. All right. Can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation?
Motion.
So moved. Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. The motion carries. Thank you for your time, and I'm excited to hear about those improvements in the graduation rates, and I look forward to hearing ongoing improvements.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Maybe now we could return to the comment from Jose Maria Vargas University, number 2788.
Mr. Ortiz, you are now unmuted.
I'm sorry about before. No, I just wanted to make a little comment. In the summary sheet on our bachelor's in preschool education, it says not approved for distance ed. And you know, we have been approved. So I just wanted to leave that there, that the summary sheet, I guess, was a little bit incorrect. And I just wanted to make sure we are approved for distance ed for the bachelor's in preschool education.
Give me 1 second. Let me pull up your file. Mr. Ortiz?
Yes?
Based on our current records that we have that you're, sorry, can you pull up?
Yeah, we've been approved since 2021, but in the summary sheet, the one for this annual meeting, it said, you know, no for distance ed. So I just wanted to clarify that.
It looks like on our side we have you approved for the master's in preschool education, but the bachelor's is not approved for online education.
No, yeah, we've been approved since 2021.
So in that case, go ahead and reach out to your program specialist and let's look through the file to see why you were in the system as currently not marked as distance ed, and we will go from there.
Yeah, I mean, we can actually send even the approval letter to our representative, Victor. And, you know, just clarify that, because we're mostly distance ed education institution. So, you know, and in 2021, we went through the commission and everything. So I'll definitely reach out. I just wanted to, you know, leave that cleared out.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. And yes, if you will send us your documents, your approval, as well as the request that you've previously made, so we can look through our system as well and make any correction that needs to be corrected. And if it is not currently, we will work with you to get you back on a meeting for distance ed approval.
Okay, I'll definitely send the approval letter, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. All right, so next on our agenda is section G, application for license by means of accreditation. There's 3 in this section. Let's take this section by consent. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
First.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion to consider these by consent carries. I'm going to ask you individually if there are any institutions that you would like to pool. I'll start with Director Hurst.
None.
None. Commissioner Marty? Commissioner Marty, are there any that you would like to pull? I believe she's saying yes to somebody else. Okay, I'll come back to her. Commissioner Litvack, are there any that you'd like to pull?
None.
None. All right. Commissioner Caballero?
None.
Commissioner Batista?
None.
All right. Commissioner Marty, are there any that you'd like to pull?
No.
No? Okay, and there are none that I'd like to pull either. Is there any public comment on any of the institutions listed here that were not pulled? Okay. Hearing none, do I have a recommendation to adopt staff recommendation for institutions 1 through 3 that are listed in this section?
Motion. So moved. Yep.
All right, first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Congratulations to those institutions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda, section H, annual review of license by means of, so this is annual, sorry. All right, annual review of license by means of accreditation. There are 11 institutions in this section. Let's consider these by consent. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes to consider these by consent. Next, I will ask each commissioner and Director Hurst if there are any that any of you would like to pull. Director Hurst, does staff wish to pull any items?
No.
Okay. Commissioner Caballero?
None.
None. Commissioner Batista?
None.
Commissioner Litvack?
None.
Commissioner Marty?
No.
All right, there are none that I'd like to pull either. Are there any public comments regarding any institutions in this section? All right, hearing none, can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation for institutions 1 through 11?
Motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda is section I, application for program approval / modifications. There are 7 in this section. Let's consider these by consent. Can I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Motion to consider these by consent carries. Next, I'll call on each of you and Director Hurst to see if there are any that you would like to pull. Director Hurst, are there any that staff would like to pull?
None.
Okay. Commissioner Litvack?
None.
All right. Commissioner Caballero?
None. Thank you.
Commissioner Batista?
None.
Commissioner Marty?
No.
All right. None that I would like to pull either. Are there any public comments on any institutions in this section? All right, hearing none, can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendations for institutions 1 through 7?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Congratulations. Next on the list is section J, motion for extension of license. There are 3 in this section. Let's take these by consent. Can I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
First and second. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Motion carries to consider these by consent. Now I'll ask each of you if you'd like to pull any. Director Hurst?
None.
Okay. Commissioner Batista?
None.
Commissioner Caballero?
None.
Commissioner Marty?
No.
Commissioner Litvack?
None.
There are none that I would like to pull either. Are there any public comments regarding any of the institutions in this section? All right, hearing none, can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation for institutions 1 through 3?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Great, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Congratulations. There are no requests for extension of time to comply with contingencies in section K. So we will move on to section L, substantive change approval. There are 7 institutions in this section. May I have a motion to consider these by consent?
Motion.
Okay, for a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Next, I'll call on each of you to see if there are any that you'd like to pull. Director Hurst.
Number 1 and number 4.
Okay. All right. Write this down. Commissioner Litvak, any you'd like to pull?
It was number 1 also.
Okay. Commissioner Marty?
1 of 4, same.
All right. Commissioner Caballero?
Non-addition.
All right. Commissioner Batista?
No additional.
All right. And I have none additional as well. Are there any public comments on any of the institutions not pulled? That is 2 to 3 and 5 to 7.
So moved.
All right. Hearing no public comment, then
Commissioner.
may I have a motion?
We have,
I'm
it
sorry?
appears we have 1 public comment.
Okay, great.
Hi, this is Ashley O'Brien. I'm the Director of Licensing from Rasmussen University. Thanks for having us on the agenda today. I just had a quick question on our summary sheet and the staff recommendation. I wanted to just clarify that before we go to a vote on that. In speaking with our program specialist yesterday, she indicated that the last section where it says the executive director shall issue the annual license when contingencies are timely fulfilled. She indicated that should have said back to a license by means of accreditation, and I just wanted to confirm which one it would be.
You were correct. It will go back to a license by means of accreditation.
Okay, thank you very much for clarifying.
And commissioners, can I pull number 7 as well when we're considering these, just so I can update the record?
Okay. Sure. Are there any additional public comments? All right. So hearing none, can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation for institutions 2 and 3, 5 and 6?
Motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Motion to adopt staff recommendation for those institutions carries. Next, we will consider the institutions that are pulled. Institution number 1, if there's anyone here from that institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call.
There is no one on the line.
Okay. Dr. Hirsch, would you like to maybe give us any updates or a summary regarding the current conversation, or where this stands?
Commission staff are recommending that the commission find that a substantive change has occurred and issue a provisional license through July 31st, 2026, based on the placement of the institution's nursing AS program on probation by the Florida Board of Nursing. And in order to maintain the provisional license, the institution must comply with the 4 contingencies listed below. Upon review of the Florida Board of Nursing notes, it does appear that this institution appeared on the June 2025 Florida Board of Nursing docket most recently, and the board vacated its notice of intent to terminate that program to allow the school to voluntarily close. So we will be in contact with the school related to the closure of that program and ensure that students are appropriately taught out.
Okay, fantastic. I appreciate staff's diligence on that. Is there any conversation or discussion from commission? Okay. Is there any public comment? All right, hearing none, can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation for institution 1?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Next, we will consider institution number 4. If there's anyone here from that institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else from your institution.
There is no one on the line.
Okay. Would you mind giving us a update snapshot here as well?
Yes. So Commission staff is recommending that the Commission find that a substantive change has occurred and issue a provisional license through March 31st of 2026 based upon the institution voluntarily closing the PN diploma program and the nursing AS programs that comprise the majority of the institution's enrollments and tuition revenue, which is serious enough to affect the continued operation or stability of the institution. In order to maintain the provisional license, the institution must comply with the 4 contingencies listed below. And just for the commissioners' information, this institution currently has 3 programs: home health aid, nursing, and practical nursing. And the nursing and the PN are the closed programs, so that will leave them with the home health aid.
Do we know how many students are currently enrolled in the home health aid?
So I have the 2023-2024 enrollments because we lag behind when we gather that data. So for 23-24, the ASM program had 210 students. The PN program had 25 students, and the HHA program had 20 students.
I think a lot hinges on knowing what the current distribution of enrollments are as potentially the strongest indicator for the viability of this institution.
Like I have a concern about fiscal, like you said, fiscal viability given their expenses and everything else, losing all those programs.
How can we get that information, Dr. Hurst?
So we can either ask the institution for the information and go ahead and add it as a contingency for them to provide their current enrollments for their HHA program and their plan to continue operations. We also have a mechanism where we will be grabbing collecting the 24-25 enrollment numbers, but that will open up in a month or so. That is our normal window to ask for information related to the 24-25 fiscal year. So that will come out shortly, but we can add a contingency to request that the institution provide that information now.
Yeah, I think that'd be great because even when that opens up, it's still lagged. And so in order to identify the implications it has for fiscal sustainability, it would be good to have more updated numbers. Does that seem like a reasonable contingency?
Great, I mean.
So what would be the right way to formulate that?
So it would be an additional of a fifth contingency that would request the submission of the current enrollment of the home health aid program.
Should we add a date as of such and such a date? For some, as of July 30th, 2025? So here's how I propose drafting the contingency. It would read something to this effect. Submission of documentation of the number of students enrolled in the HHA program as of July 30th, 2025. Would be the 5th contingency.
Great.
Director, I just want to make sure, there's also a teach-out plan already in place for the other 2 programs? Or is that, I'm not sure if I saw that in contingency.
Yes, so number 4 is a submission of an update on their status of their teach-out plan.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation with the added contingency.
Motion.
All right, got first. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Thank you. And so next, let's see here. That was 4, and I think we also pulled number. Which was the other one that we pulled?
7.
Is it 7 that
Yes,
Dr. Hurst
number
requested?
7.
Okay. So next for consideration is number 7, Rasmussen University, presumably the controlling entity and all the campuses listed under it. Does anyone here from the institution please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else on the call?
Hi, this is Ashley O'Brien again, Director of Licensing.
Thank you for being here. Dr. Hurst, the floor is yours.
Yes, so staff would like to make a slight modification to the staff recommendations currently in front of you, and this would be for number 7 as well as A through E underneath number 7. And where you see that the executive director shall issue the annual license when contingencies are timely fulfilled, it should state the executive director shall issue the license by means of accreditation.
Okay, great. Any further discussion? No. Is there any public comment? And the representative of the institution, is there any comment or questions that you have about the contingencies?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So do I have a motion to adopt the amended staff recommendation?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This takes us then to, scroll down. We have no branch campus applications in section M. There is one name change application in section N. Consider this individually. Mercy Hospital College of Nursing, a program of Plantation General Hospital, number 3857. If anyone is here from the institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, anyone else from your organization.
There is no one on the line.
Okay. Any discussion? No? Any public comment? Hearing none, can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation to approve the name change to HCA Florida Mercy Hospital College of Nursing?
Motion.
Second.
I so move. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have section O with the religious colleges. We've received 89 sworn affidavits. Do we have a motion to consider this section by consent?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. Next, I'll call on each of you to see if there are any that you'd like to pull. I'll start with Director Hurst.
Number 21, 22, 23, 31, 36, 43, and 80.
Okay. Make sure I have these right. All right. Commissioner Litvak, are there any additional you'd like to pull?
None additional.
Okay. Commissioner Caballero?
None additional.
Commissioner Batista?
No additional.
Commissioner Marty?
No additional.
Okay. And I have none additional as well. Just checking my notes here. Okay. So do I have a motion to accept the affidavits for, well, before I do that, let me ask, is there any further comment? Nope. Okay. Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the sworn affidavits for institutions 1 through 20, 24 to 30, 32 to 35, 37 to 42, and 44 to 79, and 81 to 89.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. I believe this takes us to...
And Commissioner, before we move on, just for the record, may I go through each of the schools that were pulled and just state for the record why we pulled them?
Absolutely, please do so.
So we will start with number 21, which is the Catholic University of New Spain. There are programs which lack religious modifiers. Number 22 is Christ Restoration University, Inc. It appears that there are programs which lack religious modifiers. Number 23, City Bible College. It appears they have programs which lack religious modifiers. Number 31, Emmanuel Christian University. There appears to be programs which lack religious modifiers. Number 36, which is FUST, Florida University of Science and Theology. Their sworn affidavit is not appropriately notarized. Number 43, International Evangelical School of Universal Studies. They have programs which appear not to have religious modifiers. Number 80, which is Sophia Christian University. They have programs which appear not to have religious modifiers.
Okay. So, in essence, they all are pulled because they they have programs that lack religious modifiers, with the exception of 36, which does not have an appropriate notarization.
That is correct.
Right. Okay. Great. That's fantastic. Thank you. So we have no agent training programs in Section P. Improper school closures. It's next on the agenda. We have 2 institutions in this section. Is there a motion to consider these by consent?
Motion.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion to take these by consent passes. Next, I'll ask each of you if there are any that you'd like to pull. Director Hurst.
Number 2, please.
Number 2. Okay. Commissioner Batista?
No additional.
Commissioner Marty?
No addition.
Commissioner Caballero?
No addition.
Commissioner Litvak?
No addition.
All right, I have no additional poll either. Is there any public comment on institution 1 listed here? Hearing none, can I have a motion to adopt staff recommendation for institution 1?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. The motion carries. So next we'll consider institution number 2. That is Hosanna College of Health, number 4931. If there's anyone here from this institution, please raise your digital hand, unmute, introduce yourself, your role, and anyone else from your institution.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Dr. Jackson Augustine, CEO of Hosanna College. I have with me Ms. Judy Pierre. She is going to introduce herself.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Marie Judith Pierre. I'm also faculty staff of Hosanna College of Health.
Great, thank you. Director Hurst, would you like to initiate the discussion?
Sure. The staff recommendation in front of you is not changing from our staff perspective. It is currently finding that the institution has failed to conduct an orderly closure pursuant to Section 1005.36 Florida statutes and Rule 6E-2.009 Florida Administrative Code. What I did want to bring to the attention of the commissioners and to make a modification is to the comments that are on your summary sheets. The last comment is the institution has not submitted student records and materials related to the closure of the institution. I wanted to clarify that the institution has not submitted all student records and materials related to the closure of the institution. According to this commission's data, there were a total of 1,585 total enrollments in this institution and 542 graduates, and the institution submitted approximately 127 student transcripts.
We are working diligently to submit those records, and we would like to have a time frame if possible.
Executive Director Hurst, can we have a clarification of when this school was ordered to close or when they provided notification to the commission that they would be closing?
The institution appeared at our November 21st, 2024 meeting for a final order on the notice of intent to deny, and on April 13th, 2024, commission staff emailed a closure checklist to the institution and requested the documents.
Okay. So, commissioners, the institution was ordered to close what, some 8 months ago, 8 or 9 months ago, and these are records that should already be in the possession of the institution. The institution should not have to hunt down their student records. It's their own student. So, where are the records? Where are they?
The records are here, and we did we had mentioned in the email, we did send some of the records because from the prior letter that was sent, it was only asked for year 2021 until closure. So this is why we only send those records. So therefore, if you guys need all the records, we will be more than happy to provide them to you.
And to make a point of clarification, when you receive the checklist, it does not state that it is only records from 2021. It refers to the Florida Administrative Code, which states that the anticipated date by which all records will be transferred to the commission. And it says, student records must be updated as the last day of operation and transferred to the commission within 30 days of ceasing operation. Beginning July 1st, 2021, all student records for students enrolled after that date must be transferred in an electronic format prescribed by the commission. So it is not stating that you only have to have the records after 2021. It is just specifying that as of 2021, you have to put them in an electronic format.
Well, we are truly sorry for the misunderstanding, and we'll be more than happy to cooperate with you if you give us a time frame, please. We apologize for the misunderstanding.
And just for a little bit more context, commissioners, for as you're entertaining that thought too. On Thursday, May 15th of 2025, our commission staff reached out to the institution and they sent it to 3 individuals with this institution. And they stated that they were in receipt of student records that were uploaded by the share file. And they said at this time only transcripts have been received. Are there enrollment agreements, diplomas, degree certificates, and financial documents still forthcoming? They also spot checked the records and had a concern with one of the transcripts that was awarded to a student, and they asked for clarification on that transcript, whether it was an error or should more pages be included in that transcript. And that was, as I stated, May 15th, 2025. We did not receive a response to that email.
I would also like to note, and also for the kids at home who are tuning in, if someone requests an extension, it behooves them to provide a date certain for that request, not just an open-ended extension. We haven't heard a time frame for when the commission can expect to receive these outstanding records.
I think what he just stated very eloquently is that if you're going to ask for an extension, it needs to be in the following format. Could I please have until this date to get it to you, and by this date, I will have to you all the records. That's what he's saying.
Okay, can we please have until, let's see, September 30th? If possible, to get everything together with to send out to you guys.
Madam, if you have these records, why do you need 2 months to obtain them?
Because the problem is I was away from the school and I just got back on staff, and I'm working together to help them gathering all the proper document. Even that transcript you mentioned on May 15, 2025, you need clarification on it. I would be more than happy to clarify on it if I get if I can have the letter resent to me. Because what happened is the person that was in charge of that, unfortunately, she has, health issue. So this is why, I just embarked back with them. So that's why I'm asking for it.
And commissioners, as you are considering that as well, when we talked about the electronic records, as they alluded to, that they only needed to submit records that were after that 2021 period, our records indicate that as of 2021, in the 21-22 year, they had 275 students enrolled and 120 graduates. I would remind the school that we only received 127 transcripts.
And to be clear, we've also received no copies of diplomas or certificates.
We'll make a note of that.
I would just like to remind the institution that regardless of whether the commission grants the requested extension, failure to provide these documents is a criminal misdemeanor.
We understand that.
Commissioner?
I guess I'll just make a motion just to accept staff recommendations as is.
Anyone else's thoughts?
Commissioners, if you wanted to offer the institution a bone, and I don't want to undermine my reputation by having anyone think I'm too nice, but perhaps we can, if Vice Chair Stefano, if you're so inclined, we could stipulate that if the institution within 30 days provides all of the outstanding records, that perhaps a finding of improper closure can be revisited at the September meeting.
I mean, I think that the upshot to that kind of prospect is that it incentivizes getting the kind of records that would allow CIE to service students. And so, you know, on the one hand, you don't want to reward, you know, a disregard for appropriate procedure and you know, not abiding by the required timeframes. On the other hand, having those records would be beneficial to students, right? And so I think that perhaps a 30-day timeline is sufficiently controlled risk that getting those for the benefit of students might be worth the exchange, but no further. What does the commission think about that?
I would agree. 30 days would be appropriate.
Commissioner Novak, are you amenable to that?
Sorry, say that again.
I was asking if you would be amenable to that.
You know, I'm a more stickler for rules and following them, and I think they had proper notice. I think they had proper timeframes. This stuff should be easily obtained. The fact that it isn't, and they haven't been able to provide it with all this notice, even before coming to the commission today, to be able to try to submit the information, I have huge doubts that they're able to actually perform what we're asking them to do. Enrollment agreements, diplomas, and transcripts, because it either exists or it doesn't. And I'm actually more afraid that they may be making things up to try to avoid criminal responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
To clarify from making things up, we do have the records, and like I said, it's a matter of time. I just came back with them, so I would appreciate it if you guys will be able to give us the time so I can work together with Dr. Jackson and to get all the records to CIE, because we stand for the students to get the records when they need it. And even though we haven't sent back the records altogether to CIE, but we have been working together getting the students, you know, the transcripts that are ordered. We've been cooperating with them. So the only reason I'm asking for that time frame is because I was not on board with them at that time, and the person that was on board, unfortunately, is not doing well. So this is why, but we do have the record, and I'm asking, again, I apologize for the delay. So, but we will work on it and make sure that all the records are sent. If we were
So how are the records stored right now? Can you talk to us about that? Where are the records? Are they electronic? Are they physical? What you said you have them. In what format?
Electronic and physical.
Okay. And what percent are electronic? What percent are physical?
I would say 50-50.
And is there a reason why it's 50-50? If you had an electronic system, why wouldn't everything just be electronic?
The reason why is because that there was a change in our system, and it was, you know, it takes a little time to upload everything. And then the person that was in charge of it, again, is not doing well. But we will get the records to you guys on time if the extension is granted. We are not going to make up any record.
And you do understand, even if we don't grant this, as our counsel said, you're required to still submit it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We are working diligently on it.
Let me take the pulse here. Commissioner Batista, what's your stance?
I would still like, for the benefit of the student, not this institution, to grant them some sort of extension to get the records in. Because I'm about the student, and that information needs to be supplied to CIE so that we can serve those students properly.
I mean, one thing to note is that if they do apply for a future license, this history will still follow. And so we have access to that. So even if it's not an improper closure, does it mean that this is not going to factor into future considerations? It's something to bear in mind. So it sounds to me like you're amenable to 30 days.
I am, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Commissioner Caballero?
Yes, 30 days.
Okay. Commissioner Marty? I'm sorry, you're muted.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will go along with it, again, for the students' sake, as you have stated, but I do have serious concerns.
Yeah, no, and I share them with you. I think they're valid concerns, and I think that when staff receive those, considering that these are going to be digital records, digital records have timestamps at various levels of depth, and I would advise staff to take a very close look at the data structures to ensure that there's no impropriety going on in the generation of these artifacts.
Acting Chair Stefano, if I may, if a motion is taken up on this, can the motion specify a date certain, namely Friday, the 29th of August, as the absolute deadline to tender all remaining records, including all transcripts for any student ever enrolled in the institution, not just the graduates, all students, as well as any and all appellations, such as diplomas, certifications, degrees. Well, I guess it's not a degree. No, wait, it is a degree granting institution. Degrees, diplomas,
Yes.
and certifications for all of
Yes, sir.
the graduates. So Friday, August 29th. I want to advise that a written clerked order is not going to issue from this vote. So the school representatives who are on the line, be aware the deadline is Friday, August 29th, and I strongly recommend not waiting until Thursday, August 28th to start to submit these documents or to let the commission know you're running into problems. Keep in contact with Mr. Jason Bowman about the status of the production of these documents. Things are more likely to go well for you if you do.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. We'll do everything.
So would you mind reading out for us the final phrasing so that we could use that for making a motion?
So the motion is just no later than Friday, August 29th, 2025, the institution Hosanna College of Health of Miramar shall tender to the commission all outstanding student records, including all transcripts of enrollees and graduates, as well as any and all appellations awarded to graduates, meaning degrees, diplomas, certifications, etc.
And should we specify or add, in the proper format so that it includes after 2021, they must be digital?
Sure. That follows as a matter of law. So all such records which were produced on or after July 1st, 2021 should be transmitted in electronic format. That said, if you don't have them in electronic format, do give us what you have. Let's not exacerbate any deficiencies.
Okay.
Will do.
Is there any public comment?
Let me just add that if records are contained in physical form and there's a question of how to transmit those to the commission, again, keep in contact with Mr. Jason Bowman, and we will make appropriate arrangements to have these documents shipped to the commission at the institution's expense.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, commissioners.
All right. Any public comment? So hearing none, do I have a motion to adopt the statement that was just eloquently articulated?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners. We appreciate it.
Thank you, commissioners.
I look forward to receiving the records. Thank you. I believe this brings us to the end of today's agenda. We'll recess until tomorrow at 9 a.m.